Welcome back, IWC. Welcome back, pro wrestling fans. It's your old buddy, the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy, coming to you live to tape 25 feet below the surface of the earth for another special episodic YouTube adventure here on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel for Chaos Corner. One man, unique, unedited, unscripted, raw dog for you, the fans. Can't thank you enough for being here. Drop an elbow on that like button, share, subscribe, leave a comment, become a member, and say hello to my mod, Austin Nance. Thanks for holding it down, brother. Go back and check out my opening 30-minute monologue and rant about everything from pillar to post to coast and border to border. I think you'll find it very entertaining. Follow me on all social media platforms, right here on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel, over on Rumble, an unbelievable, untapped platform where you can put up different content that won't get copyrighted or banned or have you lose your channel or be demonetized. Rumble, Guardian of Chaos. Follow me on X, aka Twitter, at GOC That's Me. And of course, over on Facebook, J Brony with an I for all you geeks and neckbeards and mouth breathers and goons and virgins and dweebs and fans with the brain of a dehydrated baby or perhaps maybe a turnbuckle, pencil neck geeks. No offense, man. Kayfabe, lighten up. What I say, you're here for entertainment. So check out the opening monologue. And again, I don't mean that towards my viewers. You know who you are. And you know that I know. And now you know that I know. And we both know that you're watching. It gets back to me. Don't you know that it gets back to me? You know my connection still in this industry. Who was a 3-decade-plus pro wrestling manager who took the fucking bumps and traveled all over with this country. With Hall of Famers, legends, young lions, rookies, heroes. That's what makes this channel different, unique. I'm a fan, a smark, a mark, and an insider, a former talent, and someone who's still in today's industry, whether it be as a reporter or still working for my home company at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling and the Paradise 4 on all social media platforms. You know who they are. I don't have to say anything more about Paradise Alley and the Paradise 4. Let's get right into it. I don't want to get distracted. That's why I had a 30-minute monologue and rant when I was originally here to do a Forbidden Door review and give you the results from Slammiversary and Night of Champions and so on and so forth. Wrestling news with a focus on Forbidden Door because I watched all 6 hours from 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to damn near 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're still in the same day because it's Monday afternoon, Monday evening. And coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's Raw on Netflix, the Fallout show. So we have a lot going on. Alexa, play tropical rainstorm sounds. I always have this problem. You know that, right? It drives me insane. It drives me to create chaos. Pun intended. What? What'd I say? Yeah, I'm a little crazy. Alexa, play tropical thunderstorm sounds.
Salseo Radio, free on Amazon Music.
Alexa, play tropical thunderstorm sounds.
Here's a mix based on quiet tropical thunderstorm sounds by Hypnosis Academy on Amazon Music.
Hypnosis? You're going to get hypnotized here on Chaos Corner. Let's get back in focus here. San Jose, California, AEW Forbidden Door. I talked about in the opening monologue briefly before I went off on a rant and got distracted. Just becoming chaos here on the channel, which is for its namesake. But my mind's like a lazy Susan. It'll come back around. San Jose, I forget the attendance. I know it was in double digits. They had a good turnout. The crowd at sometimes was dead silent. Other times it was raucous. And the Forbidden Door concept is lost and has been lost. And a lot of these matches don't make any sense, and they're just thrown together a week or two before Forbidden Door. When it first started out, everyone was excited. AEW, New Japan, IWGP titles, so on and so forth, sprinkle in different things. And this one was supposed to be along with not only New Japan, but Stardom and CMLL. And I don't know if it really worked out that way. And for all the bouts that were on here, including the pre-show bouts, which I'm not going to cover here, the buy-in, 0 hour, whatever. I'll cover one match because they're champions and they should have been on the main show instead of some of these other matches. But 6 hours, if it wasn't for, and I've heard other people in the IWC, in our space, if you will, mention this, and it's the first thing that I said and I agree with. If it wasn't for 3 or 4, especially maybe the last 3 matches, and I'll sprinkle in maybe 1 or 2 others, this show would have been a C show. C plus. But because of the main events and the action later on in this show, 5 hours, 4.5, 5 hours later, I'll push it up to a B in certain areas, some a B plus. Some have said things have been the best ever. I can't ever say the best ever about anything. But I just can't. And that's okay if it's your opinion. The pre-show, again, Forbidden Door, San Jose. Let me not get crazy. I'm repeating and repeat. 6 hours. I'm exhausted. I really am. How about you, Austin? How you feeling, man? Did you watch the whole show? You guys out there in the chat, did you watch the whole show? Be honest. Were you watching Slammiversary? Did you watch Night of Champions? Were you watching the NXT pay-per-view on the CW Great American Bash? I didn't watch 1 second of it, but I'll watch it later. I didn't watch 1 second of Slammiversary, but I got the results and I saw some of the highlights. I watched half of Night of the Champions, but I saw the clips. And I'll go back and watch it. But I'm here right off the rip giving you my thoughts and views and opinions because I think I fucking earned it, don't you? I think so. You know my history. I don't have to get into that because we'll go off on another rant, another half-hour show, and I'll never get to the results. In the review! But that's the joy of how I do this channel. In these shows, because this isn't a fucking podcast. Spur of the moment, impromptu. That's why you have so many videos here on the channel on the road. 60 or 70 or 80 shows on the road here with the GOC. Because I'm an impromptu, spur of the moment guy when it comes to my thoughts about this. Although always researching and always thinking and watching countless hours of videotape. And a lot lately, where I've been a fan of this particular style back to the 70s, a lot lately of the current Lucha Libre, whether it be AAA or CMLL product. It's making a comeback, and I identify with the nostalgia, although it just ain't what it used to be, and I identify with the history of Lucha Libre. So to see it coming back now for you new fans in this new era, it's pretty cool to see, I'll say it. And kayfabe is still kind of alive in certain areas, whether it be Puerto Rico or Mexico. It's part of the culture. So that's what I appreciate about it. The pre-show for Forbidden Door had Megan Bayne and Cross. Killer Cross? Is that her name? I believe it is. I just know she's an Amazon, just like the Megasis. And I know that she's all bow down. These ladies are a tremendous tag team, kind of like the Twin Towers of Psycho Sid and the Undertaker or Danny Spivey. I mean, they really are incredible athletes, easy on the eyes, and could beat your ass as well. They're dominating. Yeah, they're getting a little run here and there, but why these ladies aren't on the main show of the last 2 or 3 pay-per-views with AEW? You keep putting your tag team champions on the pre-show and letting some of these other matches that are Collision and Dynamite shows. I don't understand what you're doing. Get together and get some ladies tag teams and develop them so you can get some competition, or those titles mean nothing. Megan Bayne is a beast and should be getting a title run for the ladies championship, in my opinion, very soon. Hasn't always been used the right ways, whether it was in singles bouts against Statlander, Willow, Monet, and then teaming up with the other blonde girl there, Penelope Ford. I didn't see it. They did okay. And then briefly with Marina Schaefer. Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one. Schaefer is the one beer to have when you want to have some fun. No? You guys don't remember Miller High? No. It's not Miller High. Schaefer. You remember the beer Schaefer? That was the jingle for the Mets sponsor. Back in the 70s. Marina Shafir, you thought her and Bane maybe might go somewhere? I really like Shafir and what the Death Riders have done for her. I really think that's brought out the best in her, not always the in-ring work, but just her persona, her character, her aura. I really like what Shafir's doing, and I hope they can keep it going just for her sake. That's just my opinion. But Megan Bain, Cross, Lena Cross, am I getting her name wrong? I should know this. Because I know Megan personally. She's unbelievable, the Megasis. What a great person, a great girl, a great woman, a great family person, and certainly an incredible wrestler. They need to be on the main show, Divine Dominion. What are you doing? Make up some teams, get them together, let them get some work, and do something with these ladies. Now, against Rosa, Thunder Rosa, and Olympia, I thought it was an okay match. And Olympia and Rosa are solid wrestlers, especially Thunder Rosa. I mean, she's a gem. So I thought it was a solid match. Divine Dominion retains the Women's Championship in the buy-in show. Get them on the main show, or what are you doing? You got them buried on Collision for the most part. What are you doing with the tag team titles? Just disband them then, if you're not going to treat it and book it the right way. My opinion for the pre-show. And I give extra on that because I personally know Megan Bain, and she's a great person. Alexa, play Tropical Beach Sounds, please.
Here's a mix
No
based on
graphics,
Tropical Beach Sounds
no
by
green
Natural
screen,
Sound Selections,
no
Zen
editing.
Sounds, and Nature
As I
Sound
always say,
Collection
raw
on
dog.
Amazon Music.
This is what you get here. No editing. Whatever happens live is what happens. And you guys have to put up with the technical difficulties. Alexa, higher the sound.
To play fire sounds whenever you want.
Alexa, higher the
Amazon
music.
Unlimited for this echo. For a limited time, you are eligible for a 2
You see what's
free
happening
trial,
here?
which then renews
Should I
at
shut the show down?
$2.99
Alexa,
per month.
play Tropical Beach Sounds, please.
Here's a mix based on Tropical Beach Sounds by Natural Sound Selections, Zen Sounds, and Nature Sound Collection on Amazon Music. Sorry, I can't reach Amazon Music right now.
Alexa, higher the volume. Guys, bear with me. Alexa, higher the volume. Now I gotta go to the bathroom. Guys, I do apologize, man. But this is what happens. Again, you guys that are regulars here know, and if you're new, I apologize. This is what happens on this channel. I don't edit nothing. I don't care what it looks like or how it's presented. We were talking about Divine Dominion. If we get interrupted again, I apologize. We're only 13 minutes in. And there were other matches on the pre-show, but I'm not going through them. And I apologize for that, too. I seem to be giving a lot of apologies right now. We open up the main show in a three-way dance that really meant nothing. It wasn't really for anything. I mean, I don't think it was for the number one contender spot. I certainly didn't hear that. And it was highly entertaining for what they do in their style. I can't say it wasn't entertaining. I'd be a liar, and I'm not a liar. Mascara Dorada, and Mystico took on Matthew and Nicholas, the EVPs, the the Young Bucks, and the Unbound Company of Titan and Shingo Takagi. God bless you. Alexa, lower the volume. I can't win. Well, I'm not trying to win, but you get it. So it was The Luchadores, the team from Japan, and the Americans are quite the mixture here since they're trying to do CMLL, Cross Promotion Stardom, New Japan, and AEW. All unbelievable athletes. And this, again, was an entertaining bout. You guys know who won. And Mystico is perhaps one of the best luchadors in history right now and what he's done, especially in his country. We know Dorada is highly qualified. The Young Bucks are who they are. You know what they're getting. Super Kick Party, Con Driver, Meltzer Driver, whatever it's called. Now, Takagi is very well respected and quite the grappler in the land of the rising sun. I don't know a lot about Titan. The bottom line is here, three-way dance, it really meant nothing. It opened up the show hot. I get it. You want to get the crowd going. And the Young Bucks deliver the Meltzer Driver to Titan for the pin and the win. And that's how we opened up Forbidden Door, with the Young Bucks getting the victory. Over a team that I do like in Dorada and Mystico. And don't get me wrong, Takagi and Titan, well qualified, hard workers, but it meant nothing. We flow right into the second bout with Kenny Omega against Zack Sabre Jr. Now, I do not believe this was for any titles, if I'm not mistaken. These guys have met several times over the last decade or so. I don't believe Sabre Jr. has ever beaten Omega. I think that's one of my useful tidbits of information. And again, this could be a technical masterpiece if that's what you're into. A lot of people don't like it. It's too slow. It's too boring. Omega has lost his luster. Sabre has no aura or really charisma to him. I get it. He certainly can grapple. Perhaps one of the best technicians in the world. So this was a highly anticipated matchup in certain circles. You can't deny the ability and what they've accomplished in this business between Sabre and especially Kenny Omega, who, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, was perhaps the best grappler in the world. At least that's what the IWC thought. It's what a lot of people thought. So Omega ends up here. We have the usual V triggers, I think. One-winged angels, a lot of flying knees. Sabre had Omega wrapped up like a pretzel several times. So I think they went like 30 minutes, which I don't know if it was necessary. You could have accomplished the same thing in the same story in 18 minutes. You knew it was going to go a distance. But 30 minutes on a 6-hour pay-per-view? Omega pins Zack Sabre Jr. That's the bottom line. And wins again in a 30-minute bout. Again, the usual moves, the flying knees from Kenny, the bang, one, kiss, whatever the fuck he does. Sabre with the blonde hair looks like an eraser. And again, lean like a leopard, like a panther. It could certainly tie you up, like I said, into a figure eight. So impressed with a lot of the mat technician skills. But again, I get the Forbidden Door concept, but did it really work? I don't think so. Omega gets the victory over Zack Sabre Jr. The next match up, we had an absolute bloodbath. And it's not the first one or the second one of the night. I'll get into that in a little bit here in the review for Forbidden Door. Mox and Bandito for the Continental Championship. Mox is in great shape. He's definitely a superstar. He's carried this company at one point or another for a while. Death Riders gimmick got old, from the BCC to the Death Riders. It's picked up a little bit now. And again, I like Claudio. I'm a big fan. Yuta and Garcia, persona non grata to me. I like what Marina Schaefer's done. And you know what? I like the way that Mox is presenting himself now as compared to back then. The addition of Ospreay, I didn't really like that story. I still don't like that they're cheerleaders for Ospreay, and he's associating himself with the guys that broke his neck to be tougher, stronger. It's not really working for me. And is Moxley a heel, a face, a heel? He doesn't know. But the fans out there, the sickos, if you will, seem to don't mind either way that he goes. That's what I'm noticing about Moxley and the Death Riders, what I like, what I don't like, their whole connection with Bruv. Bruv? Bruv? Is that what I'm saying? Bruv? I don't think Omega needs that. I just don't. He didn't need Don Callis or the Callis family. They're not booking this dude the right way. I know you want to get him to All In London. I know you want him to be in front of his crowd thinking you're going to get 60, 70, 80,000 people again. Listen, I don't think lightning's going to strike twice, TK. I really got off on a tangent here because I was talking about Mox and Bandito, and I ended up talking about just getting distracted here before we even get to the match later on with Strickland and Ospreay. But the whole storyline here, let me focus on Mox and Bandito. Again, blood. We'll get into that. And I was trying to highlight what I like and don't like, and where he is currently, and holding the Continental Championship, which I don't think is a bad idea, but you wouldn't have been wrong to give it to Bandito. Is there a more impressive physical guy and guy in the ring than Bandito? Whether you say his matches are all the same or lucha style, he's the Ring of Honor TV or heavyweight champion or whatever, world champion. It means nothing because Ring of Honor, it means nothing. It's on an app. So it's not even as good as Developmental League. At least they're getting reps in somewhere. I'll say that to say this because I tell it like it is. But the strength and those one-arm presses and double presses of his opponents and the high-flying ability, the corkscrews, the suicidas, the dives that he does off the rope. He can work technical too. He can brawl. The look, the gimmick, the charisma. Again, I get tired of all the slapping back and forth, elbows back and forth, chops back and forth. Nobody's selling for nobody. I understand that, and those are the flaws. But Bandito's an incredible wrestler, and it wouldn't have been a bad idea to take that Continental title off of Moxley. But I understand why you didn't, because you're still running with the Death Riders. And he presents a solid, gives some credibility to that championship, being a former world champion himself. Moxley has improved, but I don't think they know where they're going, and this is what happens when you let the wrestlers do the booking, or at least take their advice. And it was an outstanding match, another match that went a while. It went a distance. Another bloodbath. I've already said that. The bottom line is, like Moxley likes to do with everyone else, he choked out Bandito. Did he tap out? Did he just pass out? He choked him out. It doesn't matter. Mox retains the Continental Championship and chokes out Bandito. I thought there was going to be interference, but there was a stip of no interference. But when has that stopped the Death Riders? The BCC, if you will. It usually doesn't, but it did. Mox won clean. And it was a solid bout. No real backstory. No storytelling with this bout, in my opinion. You've had a few different vignettes with the Death Riders, but there's no story to this. Another match that, I don't know. You got two main eventers. Mox beats Bandito. That's the bottom line. The strength and the ability of Bandito is unbelievable. He needs to be pushed, not just as a tag team with Brody King, or how they were presented, a singles run and give him at least a mid-card, upper mid-card title. I'm not saying he's a world champion, but he's an incredible athlete. And Mox, well, let's take the pen out of his hand, or at least just give him a pencil so he can erase some things. Maybe grow a set of balls, TK. No offense, man. I'm allowed to give my opinion as a fan. Don't you think? I think so. So that was the third bout of the night on the main card. Alexa, lower the volume. Alexa, lower the volume. All right, so we could put up with that, right? Alexa, lower the volume. We'll just ignore that. Ignore it, Austin. Tell everyone to put their headphones in. Let's ignore this right now. I don't even have a mute button. So that's my thoughts on Mox and Bandito, and that's the bottom line of what happened here on Forbidden Door, the review here on Chaos Corner. Next up, we had Umino against that bastard Pac for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship or title or World Championship. I don't know. They have a bunch of titles over there too. But Umino is the next young star from the land of the rising sun. I've seen him work before. He's in great shape. I'm pretty impressed with this guy. Again, what did this match mean? Where was the storytelling? Where was the emotional investment? Just because they're from different parts of the globe? The Pac is from the UK or London or Ireland or I don't know. So where's the investment for me as a fan? Besides being a great match, a very solid, good match, which that's what TK does on his pay-per-views. And I think he does it with intent to keep stringing you along with stuff that you think is not that good or very mid or no storytelling on the weekly shows, especially Collision, to get you to buy these pay-per-views because, let's face it, for the most part, you're getting what you're paying for with the pay-per-views. And I'm not talking about, Chaos, you want to watch 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of a pay-per-view? No. But you're getting your money's worth as far as quality athletes and as far as matches. And if that's what you're looking for, is wrestling, is technical, you're getting a lot of that. So I can't complain about that part of it. But no investment here. And some of the moves here were impressive. Pac's incredible. Doesn't always tell a great story. Umino, I've only seen a few times, and I know he's solid. The spot where Umino was tossed out of the ring by Pac and that twirly bird or spin as he picked him up like a backbreaker. Pac brought him over, Umino over to the top rope, spun him outside onto the floor, through a table. It was incredible. Pac's an incredible athlete. He's down with the Death Riders. I mean, he got their hands in on everything. And again, this match didn't have a lot of emotional investment, but a solid bout. Umino retains the IWG title. Again, this match was solid to watch. As if you're looking just for a match thrown together, you're looking for hot shot, you're looking for all that different, then you're getting what you pay for. But as far as a story, an emotional investment, it just wasn't there. Two excellent athletes. Umino is a future great from the Orient, if not already. We know how solid Pac is, and I'm repeating here. But the bottom line is, Umino, I believe he hit him out with sit-out driver. Is that what they call it? He probably has something different. Konnichiwa, bitches. Arigato from the Chaos-san driver to pin Pac. The fifth bout in on the main card was a woman who I believe perhaps the best woman on the AEW roster right now, maybe ever. And I know we have Monet. I know we had Britt Baker. But Thunder Rosa was unbelievable at one time. Toni Storm. I mean, perhaps the best in the world at one time. But I'm talking about right now and how she's transformed herself and what she made herself into and has made this women's title important again. And that would be Tekla, the Toxic Spider. Easy on the eyes, incredible shape, and can she wrestle? And she has what I call aura, charisma, promo, in the ring, the facials, everything. Tekla is the one, and I hope they don't take the title off her anytime soon. I get it at All In, and I'm getting ahead of myself. It's going to be Monet and Tekla, Sasha Vernado, or Sasha Banks, whatever you call her. I'm getting ahead of myself and already giving you a spoiler, but if you're here, you know the spoiler anyway. Tekla against Starlight from Kingdom. Now, we know the history of Tekla and Starlight. Starlight has beaten her more than once. We know the heat, work or not, because a lot of you guys, it's a work, it's a shoot, it's a work, it's a shoot, a Big Daddy, which is it? Really? Use your own wisdom for discernment, will you please? And realize that life is a work. So you had the president there of Stardom. You know, she got tossed out of the land of the rising sun years back before she came to AEW. felt like she wasn't treated as the storyline as good as the other wrestlers, and especially Starlight. And Starlight could work. A lot of people, oh, is that Rio under a mask? Rio under a mask? I could see some similarities, but I think she's too thick, too big to be Rio. But I can understand a few people saying that. I don't know a lot about Stardom. I've heard about her. I've seen her wrestle a few times on videotape. And she actually did pretty well. It was a little slow. The crowd was dead in certain spots. But Tekla, to watch her alone and her performance and the way she tells a story and her personality, persona, to me, is worth watching as far as the women's matches go. I think Tekla, I can't say enough good things about her. Her curb stomps are as good as Seth Rollins in any division, in any match. The believability of her, and Stardom, listen, Stardom, Starlight represented herself well. And this was a true international match that had some emotional investment and story to it. Because of Tekla spitting on the hot two, as they would say. Who doesn't like a little hot two now and then? She did that on the Stardom logo. What I say, man? You remember Hot Two Girl, right? What I say? On the Iron Sheik of USA, Hot Two. Don't get offended, man. What I say? Lighten up. Anyway, she did that, and she even took the mask off of Starlight here near the end of the bout and hot tuned in and again. So the storytelling, the emotional investment of this made sense and belonged on this show. And I thought it was a pretty solid bout. Again, the crowd certainly didn't help anything. And Tekla pinned Starlight outright. And again, what's the guy's name from Stardom? And he's got over there because he was in the crowd. What's his name? I don't know, Okada? Right? It's Okada. Okada-san. And no, not the Okada, the grappler. But he was there, and they still continued this story. Took the mask, the tiger mask, I guess you could say, off of Starlight. And Tekla pins her. And wait, did she pin her or did she make her tap? She pinned her. Tekla retains the AEW Women's Championship in a match that I thought was okay and belonged on this show. Then we had Edge Christian, and that's what I'm going to continue to call him, against the Dogs. I don't know, who's it? Chris Carson Kelly, I don't know, Finley's kid as well, who's a pretty damn good worker. Against the Dogs. Whoa, the Dogs. I'm not going to say who let the Dogs out. Wait, I just said it. Not a bad match. These guys are pretty solid. They're not represented well here in the U.S. Gabe Kidd is lurking somewhere in the shadows. Edge and Christian, listen, what are they, both 50-plus? Hall of Famers. Legends. They are the current AEW Tag Team Champions. Again, blood. It loses its believability. And again, I'm getting ahead of myself with the other matches I'm going to review. But here's another bloodbath where guys are bleeding, or at least one of the grapplers is bleeding pretty damn good. Just like in the Moxley Bandito match, Bandito was a bloody mess as Moxley tried to rip his mask off. I don't think I said that when I was reviewing the Moxley Bandito match. Blood everywhere. And here we are again. Blood in this match. Using all kinds of things. And listen, I loved it because this guy hasn't been around in a year. The return of Jay White to this match, and then to have the Guns and the Bang Bang Club and my boy Juice Robinson. Did Edge and Christian as 20, 25-year veterans, Hall of Famers, badasses, assholes, whatever you want to call them, rated R superstar, who's your daddy? Did they really need the help and distraction of Jay White, Juice Robinson, the Guns, to distract and to help and deliver maneuvers to beat the Dogs to retain the titles? Because the match was solid. We got the same moves. These guys could work. They worked hard. I give credit for anybody that steps into that ring. And again, you know what you're getting with Tony Khan pay-per-views. You're getting solid graps. matches that are thrown together that don't always have any storytelling or emotional investment, and sometimes even in ring they don't have the ring psychology, but they deliver. If you're looking for, again, I'm going to say graps, entertainment. I guess that's what all that matters to people. To me, the storytelling, the emotional investment is 1 and 2, and then the in-ring action. For you guys, it seems to be the other way around. How can you get into it? What makes you want to come back? What do you want to see? So, and again, I'm miffed, bumfuzzled, verklempt. Bueller? Anyone? Bueller? That you needed Jay White, and again, he's much needed to come back, and I've missed him, and I like Jay White. He wasn't used the right way the first and second time around, Jay White. Juice Robinson's been injured, but he's back. The guns aren't being used the right way. You got them buried on Collision, and I hate to use that word because they're still on national TV. They're still getting paid. You understand what I'm saying? But what are you doing with them? Let's see where it goes with Jay White. But Edge and Christian didn't need this. The bottom line is Edge and Christian retain the AEW tag team titles. Cage came out of nowhere. First off, Finlay had the shillelagh. The old shillelagh. His father was a legend, Fit Finlay. One tough SOB. That's when Jay White came out of nowhere, hit him with his maneuver. I don't know. I call it the Flintstone flop, the face first snap, front face slam. Whatever they call it. They call it something different. Give a kiss and a crossroad. Whatever you guys call it. Jay White hits it, and then Edge, I don't know where, with the traditional Edge spear, and I believe it was Finlay that he pinned. Where do you go now with the tag team titles for Edge and Christian? How much longer? I know they have a pay-per-view coming up in Canada. Do the Guns come in to challenge Edge and Christian? Does Juice Robinson and Jay White, who I thought were a solid tag team, come in and challenge Edge and Christian? FTR right now is persona non grata. We certainly aren't going to miss you unless you go away, FTR. So that's the bottom line there. Edge and Christian, again, more blood. More blood. Let's roll on here for the Forbidden Door review show here on Chaos Corner. I can't thank you guys enough for being here. Thank you again, once again, Austin. I appreciate it, brother. You see, I don't have to deal with this now. Am I better off just keeping it off? I always like to have some ambiance. I mean, that's just me. I like to have ambiance. And I'm constantly adjusting these new pillows here. I got new pillows down here in Chaos Corner. Sitting on wicker down here, man. Again, old school, the 80s op board. The tube TV, VCR, VHS. Hey, man, it doesn't get much better than this, man. This is how I like living it. Keep it simple, stupid. Life is hard, and it's even harder if you're stupid. Man, I was up late. I needed this. And again, check out the opening monologue. 30 minutes of rants and distractions and chaos. We move on here at San Jose, California. AEW Forbidden Door. We're on the 7th match on the main card. Mercedes, Sasha, Varnado, Banks, Monet against Maya World. Both women very easy on the eyes. We know Maya's story and the tragic loss of her younger brother. Put that aside, Maya World has come a long way. And again, rest in peace. Our condolences out to you, Maya, and your family. And that's a shoot. Certainly surprised to see her in the Owen Hart Memorial Tournament, Cup Final, whatever they call it. Rest in peace, Owen Hart. This sets up a match against Tekla, not Thekla, Tekla, at All In London. Now, Mercedes was already substituted into this Owen Hart Memorial Tournament. You knew, now if Tony wanted to really shock the fans, kind of like what WWE did over the weekend, and I'll get into reporting that. Don't go anywhere. I'm just going to report. I'm not going to run it down. I'm going to give you the results and a quick word association with TNA's Slammiversary from this weekend and WWE's Night of Champions. You knew Monet after losing all those belts. Monet, belts, Monet, 13, 14 belts. They had her prepared for a comeback. Whether people kept talking about Athena, whoever her rivals are. It was Toni Storm at one time before she's disappeared. Now with Tekla, which I think would be a heck of a matchup, and it's going to be a heck of a matchup. Maya came out of nowhere. It's a feel-good story. Now, you don't know if they did it out of empathy or if they think she's earned it. And I'll say by the match that she performed, hence the wardrobe malfunction and the fine shocks of Lon. Come on, ladies. This is what I say to the geeks and goons and virgins out there who maybe never got a sniff before a soft pair of tits or an attractive woman and don't know how to control themselves. And this is why they watch. And they're looking for cake and thongs and garter belts. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. And this is why they're like this. Can we wear the appropriate women's wrestling gear? If you're healthy, if you're thick, if you're built, that's the way your mama made you. That's the way God created you. God bless you, man. And when you're out on your own time, your own dime, let it flaunt it if you got it. But when you're in the ring, physical action, you're going to be upside down, outside, inside out. It's slammed, every other damn thing you can think of. Can you cover the jugs, the knockers, if you will? Can you make sure it's not more than dental floss on the hiney? Can you leave something to the imagination? The gash in front? I mean, and I'm saying words that are acceptable. If you're offended by it, change the fucking channel. I'm telling you the truth as a father of daughters and a grandfather of a granddaughter. Wear the appropriate gear. Make sure you're not going to have a wardrobe malfunction. I get things happen. This isn't Janet Jackson and whatever his name was. Who was the guy there? Justin Timberlake in the Super Bowl? Whether it was set up or not, I don't know. But boy, she didn't leave much to the imagination. Maya. I'm not blaming her. I'm just saying, be aware of it. Tape it up. Tuck it. Tie it down. And this is why we have the perverted, scumbag, despicable human beings in the IWC. This is why, who look like they never took a shower. You could smell them through the cameras. So that was the talk, besides it being a solid match, surprisingly. Monet looked good. She usually does when she concentrates. Instead of the CEO crap, garbage. Maya World's wardrobe malfunction. Again, a solid bout, that taken away. Women, think about what you're going to look like when you're out there in the ring in physical altercation, please. That's all I'm saying. I'm just like everybody else. I can appreciate a beautiful woman. I've thrown better over my shoulder, if you know what I mean. The bottom line is, Monet made Maya tap. She choked her out. She tapped her out. Maya put on a solid bout. She surprised a lot of people, including me. So she wins the Women's Owen Hart Cup and goes on to All In London. Mercedes Moné. We move on. We roll on here on the review of AEW Forbidden Door. Thank God it's not the 6 hours. I was going to say 4. The 6 hours of the pay-per-view. We're only 45 minutes in here. Stick with me. I'll try to get this done in under an hour. I hope you're enjoying the content. I'm having a lot of fun bringing this back to you after it sunk in. There was a lot going on this weekend. 3 shows on at one time last night. TNA, NXT, and AEW. And then the big results of the night before from a Night of Champions in the WWE. We move on into the cylindrical type cage. Should I say that the right way? Type cage match, which again, I don't like. I didn't agree with it. I didn't see it. I don't see a lot of the emotional investment. You want to say Mark Briscoe and MJF? Oh, okay. There's some storytelling there. But all the rest of this conglomeration, Don Callis, where are we going? You have my champion in multiple, which is MJF, the 3-time world heavyweight champion, the big Hebrew, the scumbag. He's better than you. Not me. You, and you know it. Who wants to wrestle everybody's match to show like he can go along to get along and do everything. When's the next injury coming? I don't know. He's making money. I guess that's all that counts. He's perhaps the best in the business. 5-tool player, MJF. Putting him in these multi-tag team, multi-person matches that are an injury waiting to happen. He's your world heavyweight champion. I get you got a lot of people that want him. Everybody wants a shot at him. Andrade El Idolo wants a shot at him. Kevin Knight wants a shot at him. I mean, Jungle Jack Off Perry wants a shot at him. Darby Allin probably still wants to get another shot. I mean, who knows when Hangnail Page comes back, to quote Corny. Everybody wants a shot at MJF. Why do you keep putting him in these matches? I don't like it. What was it? 6 against 6? Team 6? Team 8 against 8? Team MJF, a.k.a. Don Callis? And they're running semi-story of Max hiring out people to help him do his dirty work. You certainly don't. You get the henchmen, but you don't always get the best, Max. Use your money wisely, Big Hebrew. So it's MJF, Andrade, Kyle Fletcher, who's certainly lost in the shuffle right now and should be a champion somewhere. Okada, Jack Doyle, who I like. I liked Doyle and was it Evans, Mark Davis, before Doyle got hurt. I liked them two as a raw bone tag team. I really liked Doyle and Davis. They should get them back together. I get Davis has excelled somewhat in the singles division, but that tag team I got behind. I felt an old school connection with Doyle and Davis. And Kevin Knight was on that team, so it's MJF, Andrade, Fletcher, Okada, Doyle, and Kevin Knight. I don't know, is the U.S. champion. I don't know. And of course, Don Callis, penis head, is hanging around. Against Mark Briscoe, Darby Allin, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Takeshita, and Orange Cassidy. The conglomeration, I don't know. And now the winner here, if Team Briscoe wins, Briscoe gets a shot at MJF. They're lining up shots before they maybe get him to All In. And again, I'm getting ahead of myself, but you guys already know who won the main event. And again, this is the third match. Bloodbath. You have to expect it in a steel cage match. But did the other matches have to have it too? So this is the third match where blood loses its impactfulness. And that's just a fact. So if Briscoe's team wins, Briscoe gets the shot at MJF somewhere down the road. I'm assuming next week at Dynamite. Right? And if MJF wins, his team wins, what do they get? Briscoe doesn't get a shot? I don't get what the story was back if MJF team won. Does somebody know? Does anybody know what MJF gets if he wins? Nobody gets a shot. Briscoe doesn't get a shot. He's done. MJF's already beaten him. I mean, what? You have MJF taking pins and losing here and losing in 30 seconds, putting him in mixed matches. You're wasting the AEW Heavyweight Championship, its significance, its importance, and MJF. Whether he agrees to it or not. So you know that this was damn good. It was damn entertaining. Perhaps in the tops of their cage matches history in the company. Again, I can't say best ever about any match or any one person to a certain extent. Especially, one grappler you may be able to say is the best or had the best year. But when it comes to matches of the year or greatest of all time, it's not always that easy. So it was solid. It was entertaining. It's up there as far as one of their best cage matches. Yeah, it's in the conversation for sure. I enjoyed it. It was all over the place. It was a bloody mess, as I said. Same thing about Bandito and Moxley, Edge and Christian. Edge especially. And now the third one here, everybody was bleeding. Overabundance from some of the guys. And the spot, and it always comes with him. Multiple coffin drops, dives, balcony dives, the whole 9 yards, cage dives. At one point, Kevin Knight climbs up the top of the cylindrical, I said it right, cage, and the top was open. He climbs all the way up there, and Darby chases him and is trying to circle him around as they're crawling along the top of the outer banks of the open cylinder, the cage. And allegedly, there's a booby trap up there. Darby chases Alan Torres as they're crawling over. I mean, not Alan, as Kevin Knight's crawling over, and all of a sudden, boom! An electrical shock explosion with the smoke and the whole 9 yards on Kevin Knight as he grabs a bag that was up there, like a hockey bag, something. Booby trap, something. And Knight falls off the cage, and it made a nice visual, especially from the top of the cage. If they're using a drone, a camera, who the fuck knows? Drones are everywhere. Be aware, because they're in your neighborhood too. Your privacy. Big Brother's surveilling everything in the name of safety to take your freedom. That's another story for another time. And then Darby, of course, does a coffin drop from the top of the cage, about 20 feet high? Through tables? I mean, it was chaos. It was a stem winder. It was a slobber knocker. The Pure Six brawl. Every word and phrase you could think of. And entertaining. Everybody was bleeding. Everybody had their spots. And we end up, and again, this is what I don't like. We end up with Briscoe, that boy, formerly of Dem Boys, rest in peace, Jay Briscoe. Mark hits the Jay Driller, if that's what they call it, on MJF and pins MJF. Why do we have to have our champion keep getting pinned? Why does MJF, whether it was from the time with Darby Allin in the 30-second match, Speedball Bailey, Kevin Knight, Mark Briscoe, why? Why is all this happening? Why is MJF... I get you want him to be the chicken shit heel. I get what comes to him naturally. I get he agrees to it. But I don't get why he has to keep taking the pin. Again, this match went about, probably about 30 minutes. We're coming up on midnight Eastern Standard Time for this bout. And again, an entertaining bout. There's no wrestling in here. There's no rhyme or reason. There's not a lot of storytelling. There's certainly no ring psychology. It's high risk, death defying. Is that what they called it? The death trap last night? But MJF, I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. That's my opinion. That's my viewpoint. I don't like it. I hope it stops. MJF and Briscoe this Wednesday night on Dynamite. I just don't understand. Lazy booking. That's why I'm wearing the shirt. Lazy booking. Because I agree with it. And that's why I want you to see it. And I'm wearing it with intent. There you go with the cage match. Team Briscoe and Team MJF Callis. Mark Briscoe gets the title shot. We roll on here. We're under an hour for the Forbidden Door review. We roll on to the main event, which the bell tolls, and the bell doesn't ring till 12:14 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, when the show started at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 12:14 after the entrances, and when the bell actually went ding ding. Thank God I had my coffee. Bruv Will Ospreay against Shane Swerve Strickland with Nana. Now, the winner of this not only wins the Owen Hart Memorial Tournament, the Owen Hart Cup, this person gets a shot at MJF, if he's still the champion, at All In Wembley. That's the significance. And these are two of the best in AEW and two of the top grapplers in the world. I like both these guys. It's nice to see Ospreay back. I don't like what he's doing with the Death Riders. Strickland's been a little stale. Thank God he's making a comeback. At one point in this bout, the Death Riders, Shafir, Mox, Claudio, they all come out to cheer on Ospreay, which to me, storytelling, you want to say emotional investment or not, I don't like it. I don't think he needs it. I think it takes away from his luster as an individual star, as a singles competitor. Just my opinion. Another unbelievable bloodbath. The fourth match out of the 9 on the card, the fourth match on the main card, where blood is spilled, and where a lot of blood is spilled. Just like some of the guys in the steel cage match, a lot of blood was spilled. Bandito and Moxley, a lot of blood was spilled. Edge was busted open pretty damn good. Here, Strickland is bleeding like 5 stuck pigs, especially in the spot where Ospreay swung him, slammed him into the steel steps, and then pounded his face into it. The blood was gushing out. Loses its impact when it's 4 matches. It just does, and I don't understand it. Again, lazy booking. I don't understand it. You're doing it for shock value. But is anybody else watching anybody else's match? Is anybody else clearing this with TK? Is anybody doing anything about anything when it comes to this? No, you guys don't, hard way happens. I get it. You guys are doing this, it takes away from our spot. If you're the higher ups on the card. It's just that simple. What the fuck don't you guys understand? It's simple. Take it from someone I know. I was a part of the creative process for damn near 3 fucking decades. I can't say it enough. And this match was unbelievable. The steel cage match was solid. Entertainment, if that's what you wanted, it's what you got. But this is unbelievable. And of course, again, as I said earlier part of the review, whether it's the men or the women, the slaps back and forth in the middle of the ring, the chops back and forth in the middle of the ring, the elbows, forearm shivers back and forth in the middle of the ring, no selling. The clotheslines against each other, no selling. Does anybody fucking sell anymore? This certainly isn't QVC. Is anybody selling anymore? A couple of times, that's tradition, that's honor. I get it. Whack, whack, whoo, whack, pop. I get it, man. But when you do it consistently and everyone else is doing it, it's like the blood, it loses it. What don't you understand? Again, some of the different spots on here. Again, like I said, the Death Riders coming out. Your usual running foot stomps by Shane Strickland, by Swerve, if you will. The usual hidden blades by Ospreay, and even Swerve used them. The kicks. Just unbelievable. Both these guys think in real life that they're assassins, especially by their entrances and their ring gear. Right? They're all assassins. Strickland wants to be an assassin now. Ospreay obviously plays video games. That's the generation, I don't know, guys in their 30s and 40s who are addicted to gaming. I don't understand it. I get it in your 20s and 30s. I play Tecmo Bowl, Pac-Man, Donkey Kong. I understand. John Madden, I know. But really? All the rest of you geeks and goons? So those were the things that stood out to me. A solid match. No two ways about it. 2 incredible athletes. And I'm repeating here on the main event. And I should have written down more. The bottom line is Ospreay hit Swerve. What is he calling it now? The Death Rider? What was it called before? What did Will Ospreay call his own move? Because there's simple moves, pile driver, sit out, power bombs, different things. But everybody's got their own twist, their own version of the way they want to do it. And what they call it. And they change it all the time. So he hit a Death Rider on Strickland. And he pinned him. I don't know. I think it was a sit out pile driver. But Ospreay pinned Strickland in an unbelievable bout that also went a long time, and hence the 6 hours. But it doesn't get better than Ospreay and Strickland. One of the best matches I've seen in years out of AEW. And they set up what they wanted to set up. I don't know if Omega takes the title off MJF beforehand so they get Omega and Ospreay over there in London and Wembley. I know they want Ospreay to be there. Is MJF going to lose the title again? You're hot-shotting and hot potatoing, the right word, the titles. And is anybody going to get a sustained run? Max had one. Mox might have had one. I don't know if Jericho. Same thing in the WWE. Just bouncing around with the titles, and especially the world title. That's the results that I have for AEW Forbidden Door. But don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I still have some results I want to report here. We're at an hour. I'll go a little extra, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Let me know what you think about the show and the content. And if you like it broken down into 20 minutes, 30 minutes so it can keep your attention, or you like the hour-plus reviews or story time or watch-alongs. So there you have it, AEW Forbidden Door 2026. 6 hours. I believe by the time they got out of the ring, it was like 12:56 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The media scrum was well after 1:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So a long, long night into the wee hours of this morning. The Divine Dominion retained the Women's Tag Team Championships over Thunder Rosa and Olympia. The Young Bucks defeated Dorada and Mystico and the Unbound Company in a 3-way tag team dance. Kenny Omega pinned Zack Sabre Jr. in that heated rivalry. Jon Moxley choked out Bandito to retain the Continental title. Umino pinned Pac, say that 3 times fast, to retain the IWGP Championship title. Tekla pinned Starlight to retain the AEW Women's title and then continue that whole feud with Stardom. Edge and Christian, with the help of the Bang Bang Gang, defeated the Dogs to retain the AEW Tag Team Championships. Mercedes Moné won the Owen Hart Women's Memorial Tournament by beating Maya and the Wardrobe Malfunction. Team Briscoe in the cage match defeated Team MJF and Don Callis' team. So Briscoe gets a shot at the heavyweight title this Wednesday at Dynamite. And MJF took the pin, took the fall. Horseshit. And Will Ospreay, bruv, everybody's bruv, pinned Shane Swerve Strickland to win the men's Owen Hart's tournament to go on to All In Wembley to face whoever's the champ at that time. I guess I'm going to say now it's MJF. That's your wrap-up for Forbidden Door. I'm going to report on TNA Slammiversary. Just the highlights, just a quick results here. If you didn't see it, you can get the results here. Your new TNA heavyweight champion is the former Dolph Ziggler, who I call Dirk Diggler, Nick Nemeth, an unbelievable athlete who's had sustainability and longevity. It seems like one heck of a nice guy. Nick Nemeth is the new TNA champion after defeating one guy who's another unbelievable, undervalued, underrated wrestler in Mike Santana, formerly of Santana and Ortiz. Unbelievable match. I saw the clips. I saw the highlights. Nick Nemeth defeats Mike Santana to become the TNA heavyweight champion. Also on that card, Mustafa Ali retained the International Championship. Mustafa Ali, another undervalued, underused talent in the world of professional wrestling. The Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, are your new TNA tag team champions after they won the tag team titles. Matt and Jeff Hardy just continue to roll along. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. There's two different rollings. And then maybe you're rolling one up right now. I don't know. But Matt and Jeff Hardy are your new TNA Tag Team Champions. Cedric Alexander, former Cedric Alexander, current Cedric Alexander, retains the X Division Championship, which I heard was an unbelievable match and involved the legendary, amazing Red, who's part owner of House of Glory out of New York City. I worked on the same events with Red back in the early 2000s. What a wrestler, now in his middle 40s. In the Cruiserweight, Lightweight, X Division Championship matches. Welcome back, amazing Red, who goes into the TNA Hall of Fame. He was also involved in that X Division championship match where Cedric Alexander came out victorious. What else do I have from TNA? Slammiversary. I know it got good reviews. I know a lot of you watched it. Nick Nemeth over Ricky Santana to become the new heavyweight champion. The Hardys, the new tag team champions. Mustafa Ali, still the international champion. And Cedric Alexander is still the X Division champion. And I know there's a new women's champion as well. New women's knockout champions as well. I had to report on that. I didn't include it, but I know there's also a new women's champion. I know Moose was on the show. There was AJ Francis was on the show. There were several other solid matches, and TNA Slammiversary sounds like it did damn good. Like I said, I caught bits and pieces, but I did get the important results. Then to the big one, and I mean the big one, WWE on Saturday afternoon for Night of Champions. And here's the quick results. And I'll start off with, like I said, the big one that a lot of people did call, a lot of people saw coming, a lot of people loved, liked, and some didn't like. And me personally, happy for the man, but he's not the face of my company. He's not my champion. I get it. Everyone said, oh, if it wasn't for him as the honorary Oos, the ultimate Oos, you wouldn't have had the bloodline. It wouldn't have turned out the way that it did. You wouldn't have the bloodline that you have today. That's a bunch of horse shit. Sami Zayn was an integral part. He played the part. He sold it. Everybody wants to, oh, El Generico. He was an independent wrestler that was just as good, no better than anybody else. He was solid. He was a good worker. He earned his fucking way. Same thing when he was in NXT. He was solid and earned his way. Can't take that away from him. The fans love him. Personally, he's got a big mouth, and he puts out his opinion on our time, on company time, and on our dime. And I don't like that from anybody. Doesn't matter if it's him, CM Punk, Brody King, and Mick Foley, Kevin Nash. Keep your opinion on company time and our dime to yourself. Do it in your personal life. And that's not why I don't think Sami Zayn should be the face of the company. I just don't think he has the aura, the look, that's the believability to me. Just like I didn't with Jey Uso. Just like I don't with LA Knight. I don't see it. That's me. That's my opinion. I earned it. We all have the right to our opinion. Congratulations, Sami Zayn. He's the new undisputed WWE champion by defeating Cody Rhodes and Gunther. Walter. Sami Zayn won the three-way dance on Night of Champions. And Sami Zayn, what a lot of you geeks wanted. And that's great. You wanted Sami Zayn. You thought he should have done it in Montreal. You think he's the greatest wrestler. Everybody loves him. They loved him over in Saudi Arabia, which I could give a fuck less about that. The guy's flip-flop, this, that, and take all his political views aside. All his personal opinions, which is forced upon the fans. That's the way I see it. It's got a whole Hoover kick. The guy could work. I give him his respect and credit. But he's not the face of any company that I own, whether the fans want it or not. You could just say, oh, well, he puts asses in seats. He's selling tickets. He's a part of the show. He's an important part. He's an upper mid-carder. He deserves to hold the upper titles. But the World Heavyweight Championship, and again, I say the same about Jey Uso, LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, any of them. Javon Evans, none of them to me are world heavyweight champions. You want to talk about Obafemi? You want to talk about Jacob Fatu? You want to talk about Braun Breaker? You want to talk about Gunther? Obviously CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. Heck, even Kevin Owens. Okay, they're a step above those other guys that I just mentioned. Those are world champions. Just from where I'm sitting. Sami Zayn, the undisputed champion. Let's see if they hot potato it, if it's for 3 or 4 months. Cody wins it back. Who knows? You still have Roman Reigns as the OTC. Is Sami Zayn's title more than Roman Reigns holding the title? And for everyone, get over yourself that Sami Zayn created the bloodline. And without him, it wouldn't have worked. What fucking show are you watching? So I disagree with all the guys out there, including the number one guys, who are my boys. I disagree. That shows you I'm not a suck ass. I don't lick the fucking boots or lick balls. I tell it like it is, the way I see it. So congratulations, Sami Zayn. Seth Rollins, if I'm not mistaken, wins the 3-way that he was involved with. Trick Williams defeated Ricky Saints, a.k.a. Ricky Starks, to defend and retain the United States Championship. Whoop that Trick with Lil Yachty. He doesn't know how to throw a fucking running elbow or drop an elbow. Can we get Hollyweird and all these hip hopsters and rappers and entertainers the fuck out of the business and keep them out unless it's just a spot here and there because it doesn't work, it doesn't sell, you're pandering, and it shows. You know, everyone likes Lil Yachty. Whoop these nuts. Terrible in the ring. Terrible. Doesn't belong there. Why? He's a friend of a friend, a rapper. You want to pander to whatever fucking demographic that you want to pander to? Because it's a pattern. It's noticeable. You know that, right? So Trick Williams over Ricky Saints. Like I said, Seth Rollins wins. Again, I didn't have the accurate notes on that. We know that Io Sky is the queen of the ring as predicted. I like Io Sky. I think she's earned it. Io is now queen of the ring. Also, Obafemi, as predicted. A lot of people were worried about Jey Uso, which wouldn't have made sense to me, that's for sure. I don't know if they know what they're doing with Oba and where it's going with Brock or where you're going to go now. Because they've been a little stale and lazy booking in the WWE as well, and that's just a fact. Obafemi's your king of the ring, which is the right call. Brock didn't show up. Where do you go now? So I know the king of the ring gets a title shot. I know a queen of the ring gets a title shot. So Io Sky is your WWE queen of the ring. Obafemi's your WWE men's king of the ring. Again, Sammy's your new champion. Didn't have it on my bingo card, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Also, Tiffy time. What time is it? It's Tiffy time. It's Tiffany Stratton retained the women's U.S. title over the Wig, Jade Cargill. All show, no go. We used to call them lemons back in the day. She certainly looks the part. But thank God this time she didn't flip her wig. So Tiffany retains the women's U.S. title. That's what I have coming out of Night of Champions for the WWE. And again, the Fallout show's coming up very soon. Maybe even right now. On Netflix on Raw, Monday Night Raw, actually on early Monday evening. And again, it still slips me, what the heck am I missing about Seth Rollins? I had a note, I highlighted it, but I seem to have missed it. Anyway, thanks for being here. An hour and 15 minutes for the Forbidden Door review, and then the results from Night of Champions and Slammiversary. Hear from your old buddy, the GOC. And again, I didn't watch The Great American Bash yet. What's that sound? I hear something. Someone's got to be here. I see something. Did somebody alert me? That's all I have for now. Chaos Corner. I gotta go. Don't you dare miss it.